Indeed, people, we are so live and direct. Mr. Chin!
Yes, sir.
Aye. Yeah, Mr. Chin.
We don't know about league because we name World Cup.
Ha ha ha. Yo, it's a pleasure once again to have you in the studio.
And it's always a pleasure to pass through, man.
Reggae King Radio and another great production, another great event that we are keeping.
Yes,
because I don't like to say you, I like to say we.
Yeah, because it's the whole industry, and the whole industry should be celebrated because, you know, in these times we are doing things for the industry and not only for ourselves, you know?
Exactly, to elevate as usual, like that.
Yeah, to keep the thing moving forward. That time has come when it's extremely important for us to start thinking about the next decade of sound clashing, the next 2 decades of sound clashing. From day one, I've always been saying that when this is all over for me as a promoter, you know what I mean, I still want to be able to sit on the sidelines and still enjoy the sport of sound clashing. And the only way that can happen is if we, you know, make the proper changes while we have the power to help that, you know, help it along for another 10 years or so.
Right. I mean, I want to go back, but it's like so much stuff you can always talk about because you have like a great hour story to talk about. But let us talk about October 8th, 2016, because we got to chop up a lot of things.
October 8th, inside Club Amazura, it's the rise of new champions. It's world class starting over again.
Okay, what do you mean by the rise of new champions?
The rise of new champions simply means this, right?
Yes.
We're giving another set of sound systems a chance at that world title, that prestigious, that what would you call it, Grammy of the sound clash industry. So we're giving other sound systems a chance. So when we say the rise of new champions, not to be confused with young sounds, meaning that young sounds who are just starting their career.
Okay.
Chin is not putting sounds that just started the last 2 years or 3 years on the world class stage.
Right.
We're actually putting sound systems who have been responsible for the upkeep of the local clash arena in the States and worldwide together on one stage. However, they have not gotten that global visibility as of yet. So we're calling them new champions because they're new to the global scene.
You see, I like how you brought it down to me because I was of course gonna tell you about Young Hawk, because Young Hawk
has been there.
Yeah, it's been there. You see what I'm saying? But the sounds that you have in there, Warrior from
Germany.
From Germany. Right.
Also, Jugglers is also from Germany.
Yes.
This is the first time ever in the whole World Class Series that we're going to use 2 sound systems from Europe at the same time, let alone 2 sound systems from the same place in Europe at the same time. So that's a little history within itself. I wanted to represent Europe in the World Clash, right? And I think that Germany has a lot of good vibes coming out of it.
Definitely, a lot of talent.
And I wanted to represent 2 different aspects of Germany. So Warrior, of course, is a more hardcore sound. They got they got some good wins under their belt, some good audio out there. Their defeat with over bass Odyssey, with the Super Cat that kind of shocked the world. That was a good good moment in Clash history within the last year. And then of course Jugglers has been this sound system that they're just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're jugglers, but they still have that warish potential because of where they're coming from with the Sentinel sound system.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So I figured that would be a really good platform. So we kind of subtitled it in the World Clash booklet as Euro War.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, get the people in Europe like, wow, who's going to win type thing. Yeah.
And then I see you got King Tubby's from the UK.
King Tubby's, of course, from the UK. King Tubby's is pretty much the oldest functioning sound system in London.
Okay.
Right? So they're probably about 40 plus years old.
Correct.
They're not the oldest sound from London, people. They're the oldest sound that is still playing out at parties on a weekly basis, or monthly basis, and so forth. Consecutive, consecutive. They still doing their thing.
I'm glad you put that in because I got a large UK base that's listening to us right now. PlayMakerSound.com, and it's streaming all over UK.
Yeah, man. Big up to everybody in the UK. So
that's it.
There were many reasons why we decided that we were gonna, use King Tubby's.
Okay.
First of all, this whole Rumble situation that we have been trying to put together, where it was, where in the future we're looking that only Rumble champions will be on the world class stage. That's a whole different conversation, but just want to put in perspective why King Tubby's over other sound systems, right? when we decided to do the Rumble UK last year, we put a lineup together and we reached out to a lot of the, you know, UK sound systems, upcoming UK sound systems that have a local name buzzing in the Sound Clash arena, and a lot of them did not want to be part of the Rumble for whatever reasons reason possible, right? And that's the sort of thing, because not everybody's going to see your vision. However, King Tubby's was among some of the sound systems that decided that they were going to take the Rumble. Right? So, you know, my thing is that, well, if they were going to take the Rumble, then the Rumble's not happening. Let's put them in World Clash. They have some international experience. They have the dub plate. They are a sound that plays consecutively in their territory in the world. Now, some of the other sounds that some people are saying, yo, Chin, why we never use them? Those are the same sounds that decided that they didn't want to take the UK Rumble, so they wouldn't have been on the World Clash stage anyway.
I would like to see V-Rocket in New York.
I'm talking to Valerie V-Rocket and trying to urge her to at least one time get the sound system on the World Class stage, right? So she's thinking about it, but she not really reached this yet, but that would definitely be exciting.
And who else do you have on it?
Young Hawk, of course, you mentioned. Young Hawk is no stranger to the Rumble stage, I mean the World Class stage, or the Rumble stage, but they're no stranger to the World Class stage. You have the U.S. World Champ, the U.S. Rumble Champion, who's now going to be representing the U.S. at the World Clash, Innocent Sound System out of Florida. I'm excited about their performance because they did so good at the Rumble. You know what I mean? You were there, so you saw that vibe. We also have King Turbo, who won the Canadian leg of the Rumble. Wicked sound. Wicked sound. Probably one of the most treasured sound systems from Canada in their sound system culture. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about getting them on the stage as well. We spoke about King Tubby's. We spoke about Young Hawk. I think we pretty much covered everybody.
We covered up. You know, Chin, before we keep on elaborating about, I came up with an idea, right? And we want a bigger audience. We want a different audience to come to Sound Clash. I have an idea. Tell me if this might work. Let's have a party before the actual event. Per se, okay. Say the selectors that are involved in it, do they agree like on a certain playlist that could be played in that party, so everybody could come and party before I mean in the same venue at the same time, a little earlier.
It's not a bad idea. What I will say is that you're a step in the right direction. Because we need to do something different in order to get new people to visit the culture of sound clashing, and what we're doing now is not working, even though, you know, some would like to turn the blind eye to it and act as if it is working. It's really not working because we're not getting new and fresh Sound Clash fans coming in. You know what I mean?
When you go to a Sound Clash, I know when I go to a Sound Clash in New York, it's like a Club Med or some kind of vacation.
Everybody
you know, what's up, Major?
And this is the thing, like, people don't understand this, and I say this, and I guess it comes off the wrong way because I'm a big promoter, and it seems like I'm crushing other promoters, but definitely it's never that. If you walk into a dance and you know everybody that's in the dance, then it's not a dance, it's a party, it's a social gathering. You're not supposed to know everybody who's in the event. It's impossible for you to know. So, you know, what we have now in the Sound Clash culture is like we go into the bar, the local pub, as they say in the UK. So everybody knows everybody, you know, cheers. Sometimes it's nice to go where everybody knows your name. You know what I mean? And that's not what our thing needs to be reduced to. It needs to be a situation, Major, where it was when we were growing up. You and I. Where you just go in a dance rum, you have to fight your way in, and you're holding a joy. Also, another thing that seems to be killing the sport is that the competitions are not competitive enough.
You're talking about the sounds that are competing.
The sounds that are competing. Most of the time when we go to today's Sound Clash, one sound dominates the whole event. It's never used to be like that. You know, when we were in the days of the Earth Rulers, with you at the controller, the Addies and the other clashes, it was Addies boss it, Ruler boss it, Addies boss it, Ruler boss it, and there was a momentum for the audience to enjoy that later on in the night, even if it was a draw, everyone walks away saying, no, I chin with, no, I made job with that. This is not what's happening anymore. What's happening is kind of like, okay, Major plays and it's entertaining, and then we gotta wait 40 minutes for Chin and Ninja to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before Major gets to play back and bust it again. The energy's not there.
So do you think hosting is messing it up?
No, I don't think that hosting is messing it up at all.
Okay.
I just think that we need to become more competitive. I don't have the answer to how we can become more competitive, but we need to be more competitive.
I think I have the solution. Part of the solution that you've been doing, and a lot of other promoters have been doing, and I've started to do, like interject 45s.
Yes.
That's very vital.
45s is key. Those
yes.
of you who are listening to me, speaking of course with my brother Lee Major, we are both Sound Clash enthusiasts.
Yep.
We're speaking of World Clash coming up inside Club Abazura on the 8th of October, the Rise of New Champions. Yes. And we're just talking about some of the reasons why we decided to go this route.
Yes.
You know what I mean? As far as putting brand new sound systems, so to speak, on the stage.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Now, Major, you gotta understand this. It's like we are in a time where most of us have moved here from a young age, from wherever we migrated from.
Correct.
Fell in love with the Sound Clash culture.
Correct.
We grew up in the Sound Clash culture,
yes.
but we had kids who are Americans first,
yes,
and West Indians after.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So what's happening now is that the arena is no longer appealing to them, because the music that they listen to in their iPods and in the car when you're driving them home from school and on the train, it's not the music that's being played in the dance hall sound classes.
True.
So if they come, there's no level of entertainment for them.
Right.
Another thing that we also have to look at and examine is the fact that Major, I don't know if you went to high school here, but I went to high school here.
Of course.
Right? Most of the big sound systems in New York City or in America, they started in high school.
Yeah.
We were DJs from high school, and our brethren them used to come, yo, Major, what you playing tonight? Yeah, I'm going to be playing down on Church Avenue, blah, blah, blah. So we already had that push because we had the support of our peers in school.
Yeah.
There's no kids in high school trying to be sound clash people.
You know, I never even broke it down like that. It's true enough. You really analyze.
Yes,
that's true.
And it's a factor.
Because I started from junior high school, right? I started from junior high school, a school called Andrews Huddy. I remember when LP was building Spanish class.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In Queens, it was, that time I was King Agony.
Yeah.
That time we had a sound in Queens called Pretty Posse.
Yes.
This was all school. And most of the people who used to come to hear us play were people from our school.
Yes.
And surrounding schools in high school.
Correct.
So we almost had a set following before we built a regular dancehall following.
Right.
These sound systems that are that's here now, they don't have that pleasure. They don't have the, if you pick up and say in the last 3 years, a youth comes in and said, Merabila song.
Yeah.
It's not nobody coming from high school. They don't have a guaranteed fan base of their peers.
That's what I was just about to tell you. You're right. That's where the fan base starts from. From when you, primary school growing up, because that's where my fan base started from.
Then it spills out into the streets.
Right, exactly. Because I was like the neighborhood king in the days. Like, a Flatbush area, I was like the king.
And we're not seeing that anymore. So what it does, it creates stagnancy in the industry. So what happens is, every year you guys get the same promoter, Chin.
Yeah.
You get the same selectors, Lynx, Mataran, Trooper, whoever it is.
Right.
It's because we, the new fresh crop is either not interested or having a very hard time to collect a fan base.
It's super hard now, even though they have social media. It's still hard.
Social media is it's a false sense of security.
Bam,
right?
bam.
And here why social media becomes a false sense of security.
Real talk.
You will put out a flyer, and there you get likes or whatever you guys call it, because I'm not a social media head. I have a whole team that does that, right?
Yeah.
Now, maybe 60% of those people live in another part of the world that will not be attending the class that they're hyping you up about.
I make you feel like
So you feel as a promoter, say, yo, my dance I got ram because everybody I say a big dance.
Yeah.
When you reach there, it's just 200 people, because those are the only 200 people that was in the geographical area of where the dance is being held.
True.
You know what I mean? False sense of security.
I like that.
You know what I mean? You're a sound man. Now, You can put 2 dubs on social media or stay in your living room and make a little mixtape, and you put it out there, and social media is telling you that you're a bad song.
Yes.
You buy into it, you believe it, so you start chuck by everybody and are going like saying, you want to skip the line. And this is what's happening. There's so many, sound systems and selectors, they might try to skip the line.
Yo, oh my, that's true.
There has to be some type of, and we can't say that it has to be exactly what it used to be, right? But there has to be some type of mentorship.
Right.
We started off rolling the wires, collecting the records, helping bring the amps into the sound, into the dance, putting the speakers up and stocking them, until we learned that we gradually made it either to the microphone if that was your interest, or if you wanted to be a selector, you learned. Somebody that have a punch bass before them even get to put a record on the turntable. Right? So what I'm saying is that even though sound systems, physical sound systems, don't exist that much anymore, there has to be some steps, some mentorships, in order for you to feel like you can just chuck it on a big sound, or chuck it on a big man. You can't feel that there's any future in a man just a collect a local laptop and go Jamaica go buy some tune and then come on and just want to be it's not what it is.
Right.
Yeah, many of us would like it to be that way, but there's things in life that happen. Anything that was too quick usually end too quick. Just look at the history of our culture, music culture. If you see an artist with us overnight, you be sure that he not have too far ago. You know what I mean? It's the same thing in the sound system culture. How many sounds we've seen bust overnight, and all of nothing. You know what I mean? So the longevity of the sound system arena is now at jeopardy, right? We come together as a team that loves the sound system culture, and to be quite honest with you, Major, Sound Clash and the World Class Series has afforded us so much as a company that we could easily say we've rode this ship until it's done.
I was about to say
and we don't need to do this anymore.
People are talking about October 8th, Amazura, but we're elaborating about the whole sound system culture again.
And the reason why we do it, because we also love it.
Yes.
It's what started us. So anything that we have achieved comes from sound system culture as the Irish and Chin brand, because that was our gate in. You know what I mean? World Clash was the brand that allowed all of those other corporate people and those other promoters or whoever across the world to say, yo, Irish and Chin is a force to reckon with.
Yes.
It was World Clash that did that.
Correct.
Before we got Mighty Crown, because Mighty Crown comes from World Clash.
Correct.
Right? So now that we've reached this level, 18 years, because by the way, when we get to Amazura on October 18th, it will be the 18th anniversary of World Clash. Right? So World Clash started in 18th. 18th.
Okay.
1-8, right?
Yes.
World Clash started in 1998 in Amazura.
Okay.
So this staging will be the 18th year.
Wow.
Of the whole World Clash from its inception, right? So our thing is not only to take away from the culture of sound systems, but also we have to put something back in, because we got a company out of it. Not many people can say that, right? So in doing so, we are trying to lay out what we think. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the best alternative, but it is an alternative now, right? And we're trying to pretty much create this league, this trying to organize the chaos, if you so to speak, in the Sound Clash culture. We're not saying that people who are not part of the Irish and Chin Rumble series, Road to World Class series, shouldn't be counted as good sounds, because they're going to be good sounds who say, nah, that's not for me. But what we're trying to do is organize the chaos and give back to the culture. So when we, decided that, this year we're not going to use no iconic selectors.
Correct.
This year we're not going to use any past Rumble World Class champions.
Correct.
This year we're not going to use any sound or selectors that you can identify as iconic to the culture. We're going to start from scratch. It's because we want to see if the culture...
You want it to evolve, right?
Yes, we want to evolve. We want the World Clash people to buy into the fact that new talent has to come to the forefront. You know what I mean? Tony Mataran has about 15 years. Lynx 15 plus. Trooper 15 plus. All of these sounds have 15 plus. You and I have 15 plus.
Correct.
There needs to be a new Irish and Chin. There needs to be a new Leemajor.
True.
You know what I mean? In order to replace Because they're gonna come with fresh ideas, you know. So like how when you were growing up, you had all these witty things to say on the microphone.
Yeah, right.
We need somebody else that's coming up that idolizes you to also add to that wittiness. You know what I mean?
Correct.
You need someone to say, okay, Irish and Chin has brought this thing for almost 2 decades with World Clash, but now I'm 21. I don't think that World Clash thing has much to go. I'm gonna add on that World Clash and I'm gonna come up with this. I'm championing not, you know, the forever existence of Irish and Chin. I'm championing the forever existence of the sound system culture, which we're losing. And so many people don't see it.
We are, because to me, like you was elaborating about how when you go into clash, we see each other that we know. But also another thing, that sounds are judging other sounds in the dance, because that's only the people that's left in that audience.
The only people who are coming to sound clashes now are soundmen.
So it does,
how does that work?
That doesn't work, right? Because you can have biasness in that, and then the voting and unfairness, and you know what I'm saying? So all of those things work in when
we have to find a way as sound system people to market ourselves to people outside of our sound clash surroundings, right? So, you know, the challenge that I'm having, or has, you know, that we've been having, is not getting the interest for the rise of new champions from clash fans. Clash fans are going to come. Because they're going to come whether they say Chin did foolishness or it was a great thing Chin did. They're going to want to be here to see that. The challenge is getting the general dance hall people to buy into to it. Because that's what we need.
But, by the way, do you think we have dancehall people like that anymore?
I think that World Clash is the exception. World Clash still gets regular dancehall people. Now, the extreme rare thing about the World Clash fan base is this: they don't care what happens the day before World Clash and the day after World Clash. They just care what took place at World Clash. So a sound could win World Clash and lose 40 dances for the whole year, and the World Clash fans will still want to see that sound, because in their mind, I didn't win World Clash last year. So I'm saying that to say that World Clash has what you call disconnected fans from the everyday happenings of the sound clash culture. So you have the sound clash people who, if Chin drop down tomorrow, them knows that Chin drop down tomorrow. Right? If Chin play a fake tune, them knows that Chin play a fake tune. But then you have the other ones that just know, say, yo, Chin at the top selector and everything, so I want to see him at World Clash. So it's a mixture of dance hall and music lovers when you speak about the World Clash audience. We want to keep their interest, because if we lose them, then it all is lost, because World Clash is at the forefront of the sound system competitive culture.
So World Clash, tell the people the date again.
October the 8th, inside Club Ann, Missouri. It's the 18th anniversary of World Clash. We're starting over from scratch, people, and we're calling it the Rise of New Champions. And the Rise of New Champions is just to find out, giving some different sounds, sounds who have not been on the stage multiple times, a chance to again win that trophy. So Jazzy T, Renaissance Delano, they've been on the stage, but they only been on the stage once. Right? So they're still rookies to the World Class stage. You know? Young Hawk, I believe he's only been on the stage once. He's still a rookie to the World Class stage. You know what I mean? King Tubby's, they also, King Tubby's from the UK, they've been on the World Class stage also as well, representing the UK. One time, so they're still rookies to the stage. So we're bringing, you know, collectively bringing back some talent. We did put together a good package of sound systems that I feel a lot of them bring different elements to the table.
Okay, since the last sound that you stopped at was King Tubby's, let's step away from World Clash for a second. What's really going on? What's your opinion? Because you deal with your business. You deal with what's really going on in the UK with sound clashing and cancellations of part dances?
Well, from what I'm understanding, right, and because I have to stay very connected to UK because of my radio show, right? It's a police, it's an authoritative situation, right? Where police is closing down clubs or not giving clubs what they call the assessment. Right? So the assessment, and it's done a little bit different than it's done here. So to us, these things might be a little bit strange, but in the UK, it seems like, you know, the venues have to report what they're doing, what their package will be, or what their entertainment for the night would be.
Right.
And then the police run a risk assessment. And if they feel that the event that you're proposing is a risk, then they won't give you an approval to keep the event. So this is a lot. This is why a lot of clashes and events on a whole are being canceled, because the promoters start to promote, and then they fail the risk assessment, or they don't get it passed. I shouldn't say fail, but police don't pass it. Event can't keep, and it is as simple as that. Okay. Now, UK is troubling with violence and all of that stuff centered around dancehall. Now, the yard people there, the West Indian people there will say, yo, I pick them, I pick Pound with. But it's just like here and every other place in the world, right? We as West Indians still give the police reason to give us problems, because they may say that every dance somebody's getting shot or stabbed, and we know that it's not true. But they can show, you know, statistics to show that at least it's happening in some dances, you know, and they use that to fight us. So if we don't give them, or we stop giving them the fuel, then maybe things will be a little bit better. So again, you know, I'm trying to find a proper venue that can't get cancelled in the UK for UK Rumble, and it also is becoming a challenge because of this whole fear of the risk assessment thing, you know what I mean? So I mean, big up to all the Clash fans and all dancehall fans in the UK. We understand the pressure with the item dep on, and hopefully it gets resolved as soon as possible.
Because it's coming across to me, you know, I don't really, I do read social media, and more time I don't get involved. I just do my thing. But I see that they were saying because of some personal thing with Love Injection, the dance.
Oh, well, the Love Injection dance, I was just speaking about that coming here, right? So I'm new to the whole situation, so I can't elaborate on it. But pretty much from what I'm hearing is that there was supposed to be some event with Fargo, King Fargo from Brooklyn, and I hear that King Fargo's already in the UK. I don't know how true that is.
Yes,
and the dance is cancelled because Love Injection pulled away. You know what I mean? I don't know anything more than that. I don't think that has anything to do with risk assessment, though.
That's what I was saying. Oh, that's what I'm getting
I think that's a personal, you know.
Allegedly, because I'm not going that, I don't know facts, but I heard that one of them members' mothers passed away. Yes,
this I am aware of. So Zuki Dan, who is a member of Love Injection, I think he's one of the owners, actually, or a brother Winston Mexican or something like that. His mom passed away, and
that's unfortunate.
I'm hearing that I'm hearing that he's just not in the right place, and that's understandable.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I don't know the intricacies of it, so I can't really elaborate on it, but I know that a lot of people are disappointed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and I just believe, I mean, all of us are different. Every man not the same. The show must go on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not one man. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not one man. You got a team. But that's my personal, because I just lost mine, and I lost my uncle, and I would still, if I wasn't there, team have to go on.
See.
But that's just...
Yeah, I can't comment on it because I don't know, you know, I would like to know both sides before I stay. Because, you know, nowadays, you know, not, and I didn't want this, you know what I mean? But nowadays it's like, I have to be careful of what I say, because what I say is so powerful, you know what I mean? And I'm held to what I say. So when I try to talk, I try to make sure before I address any situation, I have both sides.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Since, you know, my opinion causes problems sometimes.
And why do you think is that?
I just think that, you know, I was, you know, by the mercy of God, you know, we were able to put ourselves in a position where our opinions are valid, you know, and we you know, that's just what it is. It's not something that we it's not something that we signed up for, though, you know what I mean? It's just something that we inherited based on the work that we put in, you know, based on being, you know, the world-class promoter.
Did you see it reach it ever?
I didn't see the power of it until we started doing radio.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't something that I was extremely aware of, I would be honest with you, until we started doing radio.
Because it's like everything you say, according to the people, it's like you're the guru, you're never wrong. And honestly, you know me, you're a hypocrite.
Right.
More time I don't like that, because I be like, yo, Chinny wrong. Right. But it's like, people like, no man, Chin say it and I saw it go.
Yeah, because
and I'm ready for fight.
They're not understanding that it's Chin's opinion.
Right.
So now if you hear me on the radio, I always say my opinion.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just to make people know that this is just my opinion.
Right.
Lee Major can have a different opinion.
Right.
But again, someone who looks to Chin for their knowledge of the culture will say, Lee Major is not the person that I look to. Chin is the person that I look to, so Chin is right.
Yeah.
So I try to know both sides of each situation in order to say, okay, this is the side, that's the side, here's my opinion on it. Just so I can't say, yo, him wrong.
Yeah. Because
that him wrong can do so much damage that I wasn't aware of.
So Chin, tell me something. How do you feel about, because I've noticed a musical change in the sound clash. How do you feel about that? There's a musical change going on.
I feel like the music needs to change. You know what I mean? And
more
I know if you and I are seeing the same change.
I'm seeing like more new music is being played.
Yes, I feel that it needs to. I feel that it needs to be changed. I feel that the whole momentum and temperament of sound clashes need to change. Because
really and truly, my reign was in the 90s, and we had a long reign from like 1990 to like 2015 or something like that.
And it was a change where you guys didn't get stuck in old music.
Exactly.
You know, it was a reign where you upgraded the box, you did what needed to be done. You know, a lot of the music that's being played in the dancehall, as far as the sound clash dancehall I'm speaking, is reasons why we're not getting new people to come in.
Exactly.
You gotta understand that too. When somebody's gonna cut a brand new popcorn and say popcorn around the thing, boom, 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 boom. How do we propel into the next generation? How do we attract them?
Okay, because Chin, I don't want to put you in a predicament, but hey, it is what it is. Young Ma, I know you know Young Ma because you live in New York City.
Young Ma.
Young Ma, yes, the rapper, the female rapper, she's with the coalition. I don't really want to, you know what I'm saying? And Tony Mataran played on dubplate the other day. It's Tony Mataran versus Firelink.
What song did she sing?
Oh, it's a hip hop.
Oh, that song.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you feel about the people's dominant reaction? And the dominant reaction I'm getting is because of our sexuality.
You see, here's the thing. Once upon a time, we could say, I eat that thing now.
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
Correct.
But the dancehall is evolving. The people who are supporting the dancehall has also evolved and become more liberal, right? Now, the situation surrounding her sexuality, our West Indian culture, we frown upon it, but we don't frown upon it as much because she's on the female side. If she was on the man side, then it would have been a straight bono.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the imbalance that the culture has. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
You think it will ever change?
No, I don't think that they will. I don't think that the culture will ever accept an artist that would be, you know, a gay artist then, you know, so to speak, doing a doublet. I don't know. I don't see that in the future.
But okay, honestly, and I don't care if anybody gets mad at me. I'm gonna talk my mind. I was very scared of Cartel. Scott, I'm not saying he was gonna go there, but he was really going strong on things that, you know, where the culture come from, is Jamaica.
Right.
And he was going really strong. And the kids was in Jamaica having their pants hang down and all of that.
Because Cartel is one of those artists that believe in the liberal, today's liberal and freedom of expression. Okay. And everyone is going to express themselves differently. So if you're someone like me and you who holds on to the tradition and the way things are, then, you know, we're not going to see eye to eye with it, and nor do I see eye to eye with it. Yes. But however, I understand the dynamics of his approach. Correct. His approach is he cares zero about me and you. He is trying to catch the youth. That's true. And the youth are the ones that will propel him into being the star of the next era. Right? So, and the youth want to be liberal. The youth don't want to appeal to what me and you appeal to. Correct. Let's just be truthful. Right. So, you know, yesterday I said to myself, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but yesterday I was driving And yesterday was one of those days, because I grew up in New York City, where I ran into 4 different situations where I ran into a female just like the one that you described, the artist.
Yeah.
4 different situations in one day.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, wow, like, is this so out there now?
Oh, yes.
4 different situations.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Which would never be the case when I was growing up.
It's
you know what I mean?
now.
So the kids are exposed to that.
Yes.
Cartel knows what the kids are gravitating towards,
Yeah.
and he just simply capitalized on it and helped push Jamaica further in that direction.
We are.
You know what I mean? So again, everybody, and then you have Alkaline, who's now, he's also showing the liberal sense, you know, of his creativity. You know, you have the Tommy Lee who came with the gothic
yes.
dancehall,
yes.
which goes against traditional West Indian. Cause we have that
Christian,
here in
yeah,
country.
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So again, as the artists get liberal, the music is going to start to show more liberal, you know,
yeah.
more of a liberal side to it. And then now the selectors have a challenge. And it's either they're going to stick to tradition,
yeah.
or they're going to do something like what Mataran did and voice that particular female who's on the other side of the fence.
Right.
You know what I mean? Did it get a forward in the clash?
You got a forward, but you got a lot of
pushback afterwards.
Yes, yeah.
Now here's the thing though. If our dance hall, Sound Clash dance hall, had your daughter and son in there and my daughter and son and our nephews,
yeah.
there would be no pushback. Because that's what they're listening to on the radio and that's what they're hyped about.
Right there,
right. And that's your daughter would love that.
Yes, she
but
would.
Because we still stuck in this whole gender thing,
yes.
It's not gonna work for we.
It's not gonna work for we.
But then you have to look at it and say, well, Tony Mataran is an international selector who's playing for an international audience.
Yeah.
So if he dropped it and it didn't work there,
yeah.
he's gonna play someplace else where it's gonna rip up the place.
Oh yes.
It's just what it is.
If he plays these, like my daughter and little older parties,
it's
just all
what it is.
done the place.
We can speak about this for hours. Big up to
yes.
everybody, of course, who's listening.
October
but at the
8th.
end of the day, what we have to understand is that everything goes through a transition
right.
in order to, you know, exist in the next generation. You know, whether it's technology, straight.
Right.
One time we had no phones.
Correct.
Then we have phones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now, when you look back as your youth, when you look back on your youth, you're saying to yourself, yo, how did I ever exist without a phone?
Correct.
Because the phone is so attached to us now. So I'm saying all of that just to say that we gotta open, you know, we gotta open our eyes and ears for new things that's gonna be coming to the dance hall and coming to the music. I just had a 20-minute conversation with an artist, right? Prominent artist in Jamaica, which I can't mention his name.
Right.
And the whole conversation was about him expressing himself the way he wants to express himself and not what reggae lovers or dancehall lovers say
to express.
He should express or how he should express himself. Right? And he's saying that the more that he gets success from it, is the more that he realizes that the mistake that our culture is making is that we are too connected to, oh, you can't do this because you're a reggae star. Oh, you can't do this because you're a DJ,
Yeah.
You understand? So now we're...
That
now
limitation that we're...
The limitation is the perfect word, right?
Yes.
And he's saying that, yo, I don't want to be known as a reggae artist, chin as bad as it is, right? And this is a dominant artist with some people that say, John, no. Feel hurt, right? He says I want to be known as an artist because when you call me an artist, there's no boundaries to what you expect. You know what I mean? It can be anything. You know?
I experienced that with some artists myself. Hearing this artist named KMC, you know, I would say soca artist, but he does not like to be addressed that way. He said, "Major, I'm an artist, and I like that."
So again, Lee, this is the evolution of the artistry of the artist. Right? Because once upon a time, a man a beat him chest and said, me a reggae artist. A man a beat him chest and said, me a dancehall artist. Now we see this generation coming in and say, yo, listen, me an artist, don't label me, don't limit me. You understand what I'm saying?
But it's true though, it makes sense.
But what I'm saying now is take that and run it parallel to our sound clash culture. Why is it that everything that fuels the sound clash culture is changing, but we want the sound clash culture to stay the same? It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah.
World Clash can't be the same that it was in 1999, 2000, 2003, 2004. It can't be.
You know, it's like, I compare like, okay, I remember when I was small and my mother told me to do something, I couldn't ask no questions. Just do it.
You have to do it.
My daughter always said, so daddy, where we going? I said, really? Like, you know, my mom, but me have to remember, say, it's a different...
But then you have patience.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I find myself explaining to my son, who is much younger than your daughter, and we're having these big conversations of why he needs to do what I'm telling him to do.
Right, exactly.
You understand?
Said.
Once upon a time when me a youth, do it, and you get a bus here.
Yes.
That's how it go.
I saw it go.
You know what I mean? So it's a whole different life that we're living, and if we want our culture to continue to exist, Major, we have to make the necessary changes, and we have to be willing to at least give new ideas a chance.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Chin put out a new thing, before you shoot it down, give it a chance. Another promoter come out and put out a good thing, give it a chance before you say, oh, you know, so that not gonna work. Because, you know, failure or success comes with failure.
Correct.
You know what I mean? If you don't try and fail, you will never get it right because you will be scared to try.
Wicked Chin. Chin, let me ask you something. Let's talk about that date again, October 8th.
October the 8th inside Club Amazon, the rise of new champions. 7 sound systems hailing from 5 different countries across the world. It is the rebirth, if you want to call it, of the World Clash stage. The biggest stage in the Sound Clash arena. The most reputable stage in the Sound Clash arena. And that's what it is. You got to be part of the festivities. It's the same energy, same entertainment, same everything. It's just different people playing the game on the stage.
More ask you something, Chin. I'm going to just make it up randomly as I'm talking right now. Now, I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You was going out to a dancehall party.
Yes.
And you wanted a sound that you felt that's going to make you enjoy yourself and party. Which sound that would be?
Not a clash, just a party.
Party.
Wow. Where am I located?
You're in New York City.
I'm in New York City.
I'm glad you said that because now I'm going to ask you England and Jamaica.
Alright, I'm in New York City. I want to go to a dance. And only one selector is playing.
One selector, one sound system is playing.
One selector is playing.
Yeah.
That I'm going to enjoy myself. Steely Bashman.
Really?
And the reason why I would say Steely is because regardless of the differences that I have with him.
Well, we're not talking about that.
No. Regardless of the differences that I have with him,
yeah.
I think that he's probably one of the best that we've seen in our culture as far as being a well-rounded musical person. So he can bring you from the Studio One.
Yes.
To the Lovers Rock.
You're right.
To the dancehall.
You're right.
So at my age, enjoyment means going through all the dimensions of the
music.
At my age, enjoying a party means this. Not hearing top 10 until I'm ready to go home.
Yes.
That's what enjoying a party means to me.
Yes.
Me want to hear all of the old-time big song them where can take me from 12 o'clock till 3 o'clock or 3:30 and then 4 o'clock to 4:30 or 3:30 to 4:30. Give me the Cartel them and the Alkaline and them tune them. Because that's how we grew up.
True.
Top 10 was never played early in a dance.
True.
You know what I mean? So if I'm in New York, I would probably say Steely. If I'm in New Jersey, I would say Banky Hype. If I'm in England, I would probably say V-Rocket. There's a youth named Hurricane Jermaine. He's bad too. You have Johnny, movie star Johnny, who is also bad. Lord Gellis is also a bad song. Right? If I'm in Jamaica, wow, that's a problem.
All right then.
Right? In
Jamaica,
if I want
live and direct.
Enjoy myself and hold a vibe. Well, Jamaica vibe would be different. So if I want hold a dub plate vibe, a bass side is straight.
Bass side,
you know what I mean? Countryside bass side is if I wanted to hold that type of vibe in Jamaica.
They can juggle some dub
if I didn't want to hold a party vibe, that's hard. Because I want to say Firelinks, but Firelinks is so much into the nowadays dancehall, and I don't really enjoy that anymore. So I don't know anybody that can make me enjoy myself in Jamaica, bashment wise, because I'm kind of from them time till now, you know. I don't want the top 10.
Okay, so now you're a promoter. You have your last dollar, and you said, I need to turn this money because we don't do things illegally. I need a sound that's going to bring a grand audience to a dance worldwide. Which sound will that be?
2 sounds. Mighty Crown.
I said one.
David Radigan.
I said one.
David Radigan.
Okay.
Depending on the age group
yes.
of the audience,
yes.
someone that you can put, and don't matter where you put him, as long as there is a West Indian audience,
yes.
there's going to be a gravitation.
Yes.
David Radigan. For the pool, because you said we're doing it for the money, right?
No, but you're right. I'm analyzing
yeah. If you're doing it to say, yo, you have your last money, I try turn on money, right? You want your bar, you want the dance ramp, I'd say David Radigan.
Okay, artists.
Artists. Let me tell you something, right? My artists of today,
okay,
right? I have a few, but when I'm speaking of artists that I've seen that is going to be the leader of
8 people, I'm a 0.
I feel that he's going to be the leader of the next generation or the generation to come.
Yeah.
Taurus Riley. Yes.
You got me twisting. Big up Taurus Riley, I'm a Dan. I'm a general.
Here's why I say this about Taurus Riley, right?
Yeah. That one was a whirlwind.
Yes.
That was different.
Here's why I say this, because my train of thought is a little bit odd sometimes, right? Here's why I say this. I feel that Taurus Riley is the Beres Hammond of our generation. Here's why I say this. Just look at it good.
Yeah, I'm listening. I want to hear your breakdown.
Taurus Riley, the rude boy them will go to a Taurus show.
Yeah.
The girl them scream at a Taurus show.
True.
Your mother and your father will go with you to a Taurus show.
True.
How many artists in our generation has that? Those are the only characteristics of a Beres Hammond. Taurus doesn't have to have a hot song to come to town.
Wow.
When Taurus comes to town, think about it. When Taurus comes to town, you're getting a full show, band, stage performance, everything. It's well produced and well put together.
Right.
He's giving you a show.
Okay.
Yeah, you're now gonna see Taurus on tracks. You're now gonna see Beres on tracks.
Wow.
To me, you know, if I'm saying that, you know, the artists that tomorrow, when you and I are in the 60s,
yes,
and our kids are probably in the 30s, 25s, and we're speaking of a man that can come to town and still tour without a hit, Taurus Riley. That's my...
You know, you're 100% right. I'm breaking it down. I'm listening to you and I'm thinking about it. Especially the part which you said, you know, you don't have to have a hit song.
He doesn't have to have a hit song. And you have others there, you know. You have others.
Because I was about to tell you know who I'm thinking of? Romain Virgo.
All right, you see Virgo?
Yeah.
Virgo is a bad artist.
Right.
Wicked artist.
But
here's the difference between a Virgo versus a Taurus.
Right.
The production that is now currently put behind Taurus.
Right.
The fact that Taurus has broken the barriers, right? As towards the girl them scream, the rude boy them still come screw up them face and say, yo, a Taurus me I go listen to tonight.
Yeah.
He's making dancehall, he's making reggae, he's making world music. It's everything when you're thinking about a Taurus.
Correct.
Now, Romain is a younger artist that, you know, Romain is still developing. He's bad enough.
Yeah, but
and he have a reach, but he's still developing.
Okay.
And he's also one of my favorite artists there. But right now, if you say, oh, who do I identify as a leader of this generation?
Yeah.
To me, it's Taurus. Hands down, it's Taurus.
And you know, you made me a convincer because I didn't see that one coming. And I like the way you break it down.
Think about the fact that your mother will go with you to a Taurus Riley show.
Can you see that song about She's Royal?
How much artists do you know right now that you can say, Mommy, come make we go. Auntie, come make we go take in a show.
Yeah.
Beres alone.
True.
Think about it.
And Romain is getting there.
No, Romain bad. Bad artist. But him and Taurus is not parallel. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question, because I wish that the business was so more organized and like, unfortunately, the state of Frankie Paul.
Listen, this Frankie Paul situation, I'm gonna cut you.
Okay.
Is really upsetting me. It's really upsetting me. Like, to me, it shows that some men don't have no class.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because of this, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing people putting out messages that's basically saying, yo, make sure your voice Frankie Paul I'm soon dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's illiterate.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, when as a sound system culture, we have become so desperate that we want to exploit people's health. You know what I mean? Just to say we have a dead artist in our box. Like, how does that work? You know what I mean? So I see where there is, you know, a picture of Frankie Paul. He doesn't have a shirt on.
Yeah, that
he's very
famous
skinny.
picture. Yeah.
You know, it shows that he, you know, he has some type of illness.
Right.
You know, his leg is cut off, and he's sitting on the side of the bed, and he's voicing dubs.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, if you have any respect for sound system culture, the picture should not even be taken.
Facts.
You shouldn't do that.
Facts.
How can you? This man has been nicknamed Frankie Dancehall Paul because of his contribution to our culture, which is dancehall.
That's a big,
right?
That's a big.
This man is a man that sung on sound systems to make you and I fall in love with the craft of being sound men. Right?
Yeah.
How do you know? And of them look a young boy who just start them song where I collect dub plates,
Yeah.
you know, that don't have no connection with the history of the culture, don't feel a way for snap a picture and say, hey, look on Frankie Paul. Hey, Vice your dub them plate now because him soon dead. Joke thing.
And that's where it comes to the values of dub plates. It's not like how it used to be.
It's why artists are tech with idiot, and artists don't look like there's any union or team in dub plating no more. Artists just look for sound man now and say, yo, pay me my money and run come out of the studio. $1,000 more want for my tune.
Yeah.
If you don't have the money, go about your business. There's no love there anymore. And you know why the love not there? Because sound systems are not holding that elite respect that we once used to hold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we're talking about a Jara, when we're talking about, you know, the big sounds, it's Stone Love. You're talking about when Mataran and Firelinks go up on them own and they were so impactful that selectors and had to look up to them. And artists have to give them tune for the boss.
Yeah.
When last you hear an artist say, this your song or my song?
True.
Come on now.
True.
Artists no rate sound man again, brother.
Nope.
It's a money thing. The only reason why artists know about certain selectors' names and sound is because of dub plate studio. If dub plate studio never exists, some sound and selectors will be getting no noise. Artists wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Because artists don't care about that. And it's not like the sounds and selectors are performing at this elite level where no matter where they are in the world, an artist have to know say a damn name what a name.
Yeah.
It's not like that. So think about it. We're going backwards with the culture, Lee.
Yeah, we are.
The culture is going backwards when we can start exploiting artists because they're sick. How does that work?
Yo, that one that got you very passionate.
No, man.
It's not funny, but see how, you know,
how does that work?
Aggressive about the situation.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
So definitely, you know, we are clash enthusiasts. We love the industry.
Yeah.
Again, as I said at the beginning of the conversation, I have my own opinions about things, and the opinions of mine doesn't reflect everyone in the industry. But what I will say is that we were able to get a lot out of the industry.
Correct.
And because we got a lot out of the industry, it is also our responsibility to put back into the industry.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I want to see, and this is my analogy, I want to be like Charles Barkley and Magic Johnson and all of those guys where they sit and watch every basketball game and they comment and be like, yo, this guy looks like Jordan. Yeah, he was like Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I want to be the person who sits up in the box or the person who sits in the audience and says, yo, that you knew you, that you, that remind me of this person, remind me of that person. So in order to do so, the culture has to live on. But I'm not expecting the culture to stay how it was in 1995.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you know, I think our biggest problem, and it goes that not only with sound system, it goes with life. It's hard for us to adapt changes.
We have to, Lee. We have to.
Yeah.
Because if we don't adapt the changes, then what we do is we melt away on the culture, and the culture just lasts, right? I live, you know, and I speak with analogies, right? Because I want you guys to understand the perspective. When you know, your kids go to school, so all of us is familiar with the school industry, right? And how schools operate. High school, every year there's a graduating class and there is a freshman class that comes in.
Correct.
If we stick to the tradition of the sound system culture, there'll only be people graduating, but there'll be no freshman class coming in. So what? Eventually, the school is empty.
Wow, and that's what's going on now.
That's what's happening now, and this is why, my brother, you can walk into a sound clash and everybody knows to say, yo, Wagwan, Leemajordeboss, yo, Chin, Wagwan, yo, Red Face, yo, Spider. That's why, because we've all been in the school for 4 or 5 years, and there's no freshmen coming in. So by now we know everybody, we know each other. But when we all, that everyone that you're hailing up, when we decide to say enough is enough and we can't do it no more because we have other responsibilities, the sound clash is left empty.
Facts. So, Chin, October 8th.
October 8th inside Club Amazura. Again, join us as we usher in the new faces, the new talents, hoping that they will last for a decade. It's World Clash. It's the same brand. It's the same energy, the same ingenuity, the same promotions put behind the product. You're just seeing some new faces, opening the platform for new talent.
So, Chin, I would love for you, if you can, before the the clash, if you bring up even one of the sounds of them.
Yes, man, I would definitely.
Or even all of them.
Some of them to come by in, because I'm doing 50% of the job, which is selling the concept, right? But they also have to do the other 50 by selling themselves and letting people know that they are the real deal. You know what I mean? Again, the large percentage of the people out there, they don't follow the sound system culture, so they may not even know that Innocent is the U.S. Rumble champion.
Correct.
They may not know that King Turbo is the Canadian Rumble champion, because they just don't follow it. They just say, oh, World Clash. Oh yeah, me did got that. Last time the Big Belly Man did win. Yeah, man, him take off his shirt. You may go back again. That's all.
That's all right.
So as sound man, we have to take in perspective that not everybody knows when we win.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So please, if you can, bring up on the Reggae King Radio Show, the Boss Entertainment Show, just bring one of the sound, two of the sound. If you want to bring all of the sound, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
This forum is here. This platform is here for you and the team, because what you're definitely doing, I encourage 1,000,000%.
And I'm grateful and thankful for the opportunity to give me to express my passion. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Sound system culture is my passion. Again, everything that I do and say is not always going to be agreed by everyone else, and that's cool. That's what it is. And those of us who are in the industry, we're going to fight. We're going to continue to fight. We're going to disagree. We're going to continue to disagree. But one thing that we always have to be mindful of and we have to hold on to is that passion and love that we have for the upkeep of the culture.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And once we keep the passion and the upkeep for the culture, we can fight and argue, every day.
Because your opinion is your opinion, mine is
Yes, and we can agree to what we need to learn more, and even myself, we need to learn more to agree to or disagree.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what we need to
do.
We need to learn more.
Yes.
Because we all have the same intention. We may be taking a different route to get there.
Yes.
You may drive down, Springfield Boulevard. I may want to drive down Jamaica Avenue.
Right.
However, we're still going to the same destination.
Right.
And it doesn't make your road wrong or my road wrong.
Right.
So we just have to sit at the table and say, okay, Chin, you're saying to do it like that, but can we incorporate this? And we work it out together, because collectively it's the same interest. And the interest is just to keep the thing going. That's all.
People, October 8th, make sure they're rising of the new
champions.
Right, inside the Amazura. Make sure that people get those tickets. And hopefully Chin will be forwarding again before the event and have a last little chop up about what's going on.
And again, give thanks for the platform, man. It's always a pleasure speaking to you, because I know you love it just as much as I love it. I hope your listeners enjoyed our conversation. I know that we were here, there, and all around, but everything that we touch is important topics.
Right, and big up Dancehall Archives, because right now you're streaming live on YouTube.
Yes, man. Big up to Dancehall Archives. Big up to everyone who's listening in the UK as well. Big up to everyone who's listening worldwide, because of course it's a worldwide reggae show. Speaking to the boss. It's always a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Enough respect, Chin.
Give thanks, my brother.
Manners and respect. Big up each and everyone worldwide at the lockdown. All right.